Hey friends, Andrew Carruthers from The Journeyist. Welcome to the first of a series I'm calling The Journey of Sunday. The reason for the name is that Sunday does typically tend to be a day that people go on spiritual journeys. Based on current conversations I've had with my life coaching clients, my friends, things I've just seen popping up through social media feeds, I think many of us are on a similar journey in this search for spirituality. I think a lot of us have had a similar path that we were brought up in a certain way, we went to a certain church, maybe had a certain spiritual practice that we were brought up in, and at some point we diverted from that. Maybe our values changed, our perceptions changed, but for whatever reason, we decided to take a different path. But a lot of us never filled that space with something different. So we end up in a place where we miss that sense of community. We miss that place that we could go to have that connection to our spiritual self. And for some of us, maybe we even have a little bit of scar tissue from those experiences. Maybe they weren't the best experiences, and now we relate a sense of spirituality to a negative experience we once had. And let's face it, there's certain things about our current lifestyle that aren't super supportive to having time and space to have that spiritual journey. Number one, the phone. And here's the thing, is that social media in particular, if that's your resource for information, which many of us it is, that resource is specifically trained to serve the same things that you're looking for to you on a daily basis. So if you're not specifically searching out things that are very spiritually connected, you're not going to have that come up in your feed. Through lots of coaching conversations, I've also discovered that for many of us, there's something missing. There's this space that we don't know how to fill. And sometimes we try to fill it with other things, it doesn't work, and it leads us to the realization that that space is our lack of spiritual connection. So part of my goal is to serve up these bite-sized chunks every single Sunday that can start to get us back into these kinds of conversations, put some spiritual information back into the social media feed, and really create a space for discussion, but a very specific kind of discussion. I want our discussions to be very open, very curious, things that are kind, supportive, because let's face it, some of us have not had those kinds of experiences when it comes to the discussion of spirituality. I don't claim to be an expert in this content. I am an ordained minister through the Universal Life Church, and I've actually performed 15 weddings and even one baby blessing. And I have definitely studied religion and spirituality since I was in my teens, but my goal isn't to sit here and preach to you or to necessarily serve up content that I'm asking you to believe. It's to offer thoughtful things to you that maybe you haven't heard, maybe you haven't seen before in your search of spirituality. In turn, I hope that that creates discussion and exploration on your side to find what's right for you. I truly believe that spirituality is such an incredibly personal decision. And if there's one thing I will take a stand on, is I think that we all need to express that. We need to express the fact that I get to make my decision of spirituality and how I practice for myself. So if an exploration of spirituality is something you are curious about, I hope you'll join me on Sunday mornings for the Journey of Sunday.